Strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, beneath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright, guys.
Hello.
It's not a lot of good news today, guys. I hate to be black killing everybody, but yeah. Do you want the bad news, the really bad news, or the oh shit, we're screwed news? Because it's kind of that sort of day.
You want to start from the bottom and work our way up?
You know what? You know what I want to do before we start. Can you fill in for 2 minutes? I'm gonna go and take a headache pill because I'm sorry that the news today has black pilled me that much that I've got a splitting headache. So everybody, just give me 5 minutes to go and get Nurofen. Because this
I'll
fucking shit.
I'll just. Yeah, he's pissed, guys. So the bad news is pretty bad. We're going to cover what's been going on with Article 13 and 11, and there's a few other things that are really, really questionable. We'll go into those, but I won't give any spoilers yet. Dear. Yeah, it's not good. If I had my soundboard, I could play some of the dead air. I'm trying to avoid dead air. Who's in the chat? Let's see if anyone's in the chat. I'll go over to their stream here. Let's go have a look. Yep, we are live. So, oh yeah.
Balls. Dip them in sauce. The fucking fuck's gonna have a taste of home while they're at it. Alright.
I avoided dead air. I did avoid dead air. You're back quick enough.
Yeah. Alright, guys.
Eric is in the chat. Give us the "we are screwed" news.
Yeah.
That's what Eric said.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? Alright. Alright. Balls to the walls, fellas, we're going here. Oh, we shouldn't joke about this, but it's pretty bad news for the day. Alright. Let's jump into it. So, let's start with some good news, alright? Because we want to start on a happy, good news note, right? We want some positivity in the world, alright? We want some, freedoms. Before I crush your spirits. Alright, so Senate votes down Alexandria Cortez's Green Deal in 57-0.
Not one person liked it. That's
not
awesome.
one person liked it. Now this is obviously the Senate. This is obviously Republican held.
Yeah.
And
she's a Republican.
We kind of knew this was going to happen. The Republicans made no bones about it, the fact that they didn't like it.
Hey, wait. Isn't that the House is Democrat now?
Yes.
After the vote?
The House, yes. This is Senate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. The Senate is Republican held. Yeah, that's why they voted 0. Okay.
Yeah. There are some Republican, Democrat senators, but the overwhelming majority are, So, but anyway, let's jump into it. So, with high-profiling Democrats joining Republicans to show their disapproval of the radical plan, as she says she didn't want to vote to happen and charges the GOP climate policy with wreaking havoc on the world. So, in other words, a lot of hyperbole.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of, facts and a lot of feelings that were involved. So on the bright side, at least America is fine. And I might want to move there someday in the future because apparently it's only going to be.
I'm starting to think that too.
Yeah, it's only the safe place. You're going to have an influx of people. Welcome. The Senate roundly rejected Representative Alexandria Cortez's Green New Deals as expected on Tuesday, with not a single senator voting yes for the Progressive Star's signature policy initiative. Well, at least there's good news for the day. Coase defended herself after defeat and argued that she encouraged the Democrat senators to vote present instead of the affirmative. So, in other words, is your wife laughing at what we just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget it might have been that. I encouraged them to vote present along with others. McConnell tried to rush the Green New Deal straight to the floor with a hearing. The real question was we should be asking, why does the Senate GOP refuse to hold any major hearings on climate change? Because it's fake news. And the self-described socialists explained in a tweet responding to the lack of Democratic voters. So in other words, they didn't vote for me because I told them not to vote for this bill that I've tried to pass and that I believe in. Instead of voting for me, I just want them to vote that they were present and they have no vote. Is that what she's claiming now?
Seems so.
So
she's crazy.
If you didn't want them to vote for you, why would you try to put it through Parliament or government? Like, the idea of a vote is to try and get something passed. Does this girl know what she's fucking doing? Because A, she's lying, which is what I believe, or B, she's full of shit, and which I believe, or B, she is batshit crazy insane. Maybe C, both. I don't know, but like. Yeah. Apparently that's what. Yeah, I got no fucking idea. I really don't know what this girl's doing.
The Green New Deal was all about solar and stuff, and rebuilding the entire country from the ground up. Yeah, and fighting cows.
Yeah.
So of course, no one was going to vote it.
No. We want to eat the cows. Don't you get it, you vegan stupid bitch? Alright? We don't want to worry about them farting. If we eat them, we don't have to worry about them farting.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving along. The GOP's climate delaying is costing us lives. Oh my God, prove facts, you stupid wench. Destroying communities, Iowa, Nebraska, and many other in the Midwest are catastrophically flooding right now, and one of the first major climate changes disasters of 2019. What season do we currently have over in America right now? What are they coming into? Summer?
Yeah. No. Yes. We're going into winter. They're going into summer. Yes.
Yeah. So they're more likely to get more storms, rain, and stuff like that, right?
That's right. Yes. Which is
why they're flooding right now.
Solar is not going to help them very much.
Well, there's that too. But anyway. The Green New Deal urges us to pursue a plan on the scale of the problem, she added. God, just shut up, alright? Just shut up, you stupid wench. Democrats slammed Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for holding a shame vote on the matter. It was a non-binding resolution, meaning that no force of law needed 60 votes in advance in the legislative process, in which was an impossible task given the Democrats only have 47 votes in their corner. Most of the Democrats voted present in their protest, while Democrat Senator Joe Manchin, who represents the red state of West Virginia, sounds like it might be a nice place to move to, Kieran Simmons of Arizona and Doug Jones of Alabama voted no, as did Independent Senator Angus King of Maine. Hashtag don't want to be here. Yeah, keep it clean. Yeah. Alright. Look, obviously at the end of the day, McConnell and Senate Republicans vote to kill the Green New Deal, and the Green New Deal fails Senate test as dozens of Democrats vote for president instead of being there. Look, at the end of the day, they're right in the fact that they couldn't get it passed. They only have 47 votes. They needed 60. Unless they got 13 or something to cross over, they weren't going to have it. They weren't going to have it happen.
Yeah, so I don't know why bother try to get it through if you know that you're going to fail.
Well, they're kind of hoping they can convert people to jump over.
Yeah, or maybe she wants to use the victim narrative. You know, that's another thing. Like, oh, look at all of these Republicans. They're all bigots or something. Like environment bigots. And then again, she can also claim that it was UBI paying people who were unwilling to work, which is not UBI. That's a different thing. But she wanted to make it so people could be paid unwilling to work, and also changed the whole system around factory workers, which is why the unions are voting against her too.
Sophie Turner's just come out and gone on about gender fluidity. Oh, fuck my life. I can't even watch Game of Thrones anymore. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, obviously, I think they tried to get it passed because they were kind of hoping the Republicans would cross over. But obviously, at the end of the day, they didn't, and it's kind of screwed the plan. And look, I don't know. My head hurts from the news today. It really does. It just really hurts. I think this is just retarded. She's retarded. It's all it has to be. It's just she's dumb. Like,
yeah.
She's probably one of the best. I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna regret saying it, but I'm gonna say it. She's probably one of the best reasons why women should not be in politics and why they should be at home making dinner and looking after kids.
High five.
You're not helping your feminist cause here, okay? People are going to look at you, think you're retarded or you're stupid or whatever it may be, and think you deserve to be in the kitchen or back at home. And I'm not saying that's my view, but it's really hard to make an argument for women in the workforce when you have to literally put up with stupid shit like this. Okay? We don't care about farting cows. We're not going to build a train line that goes across the globe because guess what? Countries are moving. It's called tectonic plates. Look it up. And also, we're not going to go getting rid of aeroplanes. Okay? Go home, get in the kitchen, make a sandwich for your boyfriend, and do all your womanly wife chores, and have a family, and enjoy yourself, and leave the thinking to at least the people with an IQ over 100. Or over 60 in your case.
I agree.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I know it's a meme that this girl's retarded or she's stupid, and is it really though? Like, I don't know. Anyway, you got anything to add?
No, I think you said it perfectly.
Okay. Alright. Eric in chat, give us the We Are Screwed news. You've got the best part. This is the happy news for the day. Sorry to blackpill everybody. Please don't go and play in traffic. That's my job. Well, at least America has going for them. Everyone knows the Green Deal was a complete joke. Yes, except for the Democrats who voted, well, present. Because I would have voted no, just to be an arse. But anyway. Hashtag don't want to... Sorry?
I'll give a shout out to the missus. She's going to listen to us talk about Article 1113.
Oh boy. Yeah. The hashtag don't worry, don't want to be here, sorry. Eric, I remember seeing the clip of AOC doing the little jig at her office sign or something, and I remember thinking, God help us. I don't know. The little jiggy thing, you know, it made me want to bend her over, you know, the nearest, you know, she's real cute and adorable doing that, you know, it was, you know, I'm thinking, you know, hey, I might have wanted to hit that. But at the end of the day, it's she's cute and adorable until she opens her mouth.
Well, depending on what she's going to do with it.
Well, that's true too. And look, you know, there are things such as ball gags, you know, mouth gags, you know, you know, like I say, there are, yeah, but look, at the end of the day, we should probably stop this before I lose my channel. But like I say, look, at the end of the day... Sorry?
Don't fly too close to the sun or anything.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but at the end of the day, it's just she's cute and adorable until she starts spewing policies, and then you're just like, God, you're only really useful for one thing, aren't you? Like, no wonder you were a bartender. Like, no offense, I know some bartenders. They're not the smartest people on the planet, okay? They need to know how to mix drinks, and they spend half the time when they're not working with their legs spread apart.
I'll tell you what, Pauline Hanson was a fish and chip shop owner.
True, but she's not the smartest shop. She's not the smartest tool in the shed.
No. No, she thought that you could convert diesel submarines, nuclear submarines into diesel submarines. Apparently, yeah. That's a thing.
Well, no, that's actually not entirely true. The government was the one that was going through and converting them. She actually asked the question, why are we doing it?
Yeah, but then all the stuff that she said during that, I was just going, okay, you need to walk away. You're getting owned.
She's got herself in a bit of trouble at the moment because some of her offsiders have been caught trying to make deals, financial deals with the NRA and stuff like that.
Oh boy.
So I was going to talk about that today, but yeah.
It wasn't her who wanted to do it. She was questioning why the government was going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, you
want to go into Article 13?
Yeah, just finish up these comments. Remember that she's equipped by doing it. Yep. Because men can't care for themselves. Pop the something or other out. Is that your wife? In the chat?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, maybe. Cute until she opens her mouth. That's a good one. And to think she was the strongest sperm. Shaking my head. True. Alright. Let's get on to the New Deal. No, sorry. Let's get off the New Deal. Let's talk about Jussie Smollett.
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy. Alright. So Jussie Smollett, actor, has had the charges dropped. Okay,
yeah.
Why? Calling himself a man of faith, Empire actor Jussie Smollett said Tuesday that he felt vindicated. Really? No, because getting a no guilty plea, that would have vindicated you. This stinks to high heaven. But anyway. After the stunning reversal by the Cook County State Attorney's Office to drop all charges against him. Now, do keep in mind, this is a guy that supposedly, allegedly, I've got to say allegedly, went through and sent himself powder in the mail, sent himself death threats, and allegedly got 2 Nigerian guys to beat him up and try and blame a whole bunch of Trump supporters. You know.
Yeah, who also said this is MAGA country?
Yeah,
Nigerians said that.
Yeah, trying to blame. Yeah, and you gotta tell me when they said that, they supposedly said that, he didn't realise that they had an accent from Nigeria. I'm presuming these guys have an accent. So,
probably.
Yeah, no offence, but even if you got a balaclava on and you say something like that, you're going to pick up the accent. So, anyway. News of the drop charges came as a surprise to Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson. Both men angrily pushed back and angrily at the decision. From top to bottom, this is not on the level, Emanuel told reporters at an afternoon conference. Our officers did hard work in the day in and day out, countless hours working to unwind what was actually happened that night. The city saw the reputation drag through the mud. It's not just the officers' work, but the work of the grand jury that made the decision based on a sliver of evidence presented. He continues. Because of the jury's decision, none of the evidence will be made public. Johnson added, if someone ever falsely accused me of a crime, I would never hide behind a brokered deal and... Oh. This is interesting. Then this actually gives weight to what you're going to say. Johnson added, if someone ever falsely accused me of a crime, I would never hide behind a brokered deal and secrecy. Smollett, who posed with fans outside the courthouse after the news was announced, thanked his fans and family for standing by him. He also thanked the state of Illinois for attempting to do what is right. Not for a moment was it in vain. I've been truthful and consistent on every level since day one, he said. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I was accused of. Honestly, one of the worst days of my entire life, blah, 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 blah. The reputation of 20th Century Fox TV show and entertainment, which produces Empire, responded with a statement shortly after the hearing saying, Jussie Smollett has always maintained his innocence and we are gratified on his behalf and all charges against him have been dismissed. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, Chicago PD Superintendent Eddie Johnson, Rahm Emanuel, called Justice Smollett charges being dropped, whitewashing of justice. George Soros has spent $408,000 allegedly on Kim Foxx, the prosecutor in Jussie Smollett's case. So this is obviously very interesting. Left-wing billionaire mega donor George Soros stated $408,216 to a super PAC that supported Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx, whose office prosecuted and dropped the Jussie Smollett case. In a shock announcement on Tuesday, prosecutors dropped all 16 felony charges against the left-wing Hollywood actor, who police had accused of faking a hate crime in January that he blames on racist, homophobic, white Trump supporters. But it was done by a Nigerian, so how does that work out? So yeah, obviously that, not saying that money had an influence, but Smollett family, Jussie, innocent man who was unjustly smeared. So obviously his family is obviously trying to still claim that he was innocent, even though most of the country believes he wasn't. David
My son was an angel.
Yeah, everywhere. Even my mum thinks I'm an angel. David Alexrod. Actually, my mum doesn't. It's weird. Anyway, she knows me better than many people. David Alexrod unloads on decision to free Jussie Smollett after insidious hoax. David Alexrod, who served as a senior advisor to former President Barack Obama, lambed the decision of Illinois prosecutors to drop all charges against the Empire actor, Jussie Smollett, stating the ordeal shows a well-connected celebrity could fake a hate crime against itself without facing repercussions. Chicago Police Union wants federal investigation into Kim Foxx's handling of the case after she exchanged texts with Smollett's relatives. Oof, interesting. Crooked Chicago prosecutors dropped the charge against Fox hater Jussie Smollett on Tuesday. Police are furious over state's attorney Kim Foxx's decision to drop all charges against Smollett. All charges were dropped. Smollett reached a deferred prosecution deal, and the judge sealed his case. Even worse, Jussie Smollett and his lawyer are sticking to the big lie that Smollett was attacked by racist white Trump supporters, even though we have the Nigerians buying the get-up that was used in the incident hours before. But hey, it's Trump supporters, apparently. The Chicago Police Union wants a federal investigation into the Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx's handling of the Smollett case after text messages revealed she was communicating with Jussie Smollett's relatives and supporters about their concerns over his case. Isn't this subversion of justice or something?
Perversion of justice, yeah.
Yeah. Former aide to Barack Obama and Michelle Obama sent Kim Foxx an email saying, "Hi Kim, sent an email to your work address, I think as well. Wanted to give you a call on behalf of Jussie Smollett and the family, who I know. They have concerns about the investigation. I'm on an 8 a.m. flight to New York City. Please call me before then. I land at Chicago at a 10:15 time. My cell is redacted. Many thanks. So you have the former aide to Barack Michelle Obama sending an email to the lawyer that is representing, or the prosecutor, sorry, that's dealing with this case.
I would say because of double jeopardy laws, convicting Smollett is a lost cause now. But could the police? The police could probably go to the internal affairs.
Well, okay, so double jeopardy means that you have to be found guilty of a crime. He hasn't.
So they could still go to him.
Yeah, he hasn't actually been to court yet, so I don't think that actually works. I think he can still be. I think they can still overturn this.
Yeah, well, those cops, they will probably try to go through internal affairs, try to get this Kim person dismissed from their job. And the FBI. I mean, the FBI had looked into this case. They might be furious too. They could probably go through, and I mean, I believe the FBI is above the Attorney General.
Well, Chicago Mayor Emmanuel on Jussie Smollett, there's no decency in this man. Like, everybody is calling this out.
Yeah.
The only people that are supporting him is obviously Jussie Smollett and his family and his band of defenders. And obviously Jussie Smollett has vowed to continue fighting for justice and equality after charges were being dropped. But, like, at the end of the day, everybody is calling this out for what it is, which it stinks to high heaven. It smells like shit. It smells like this lawyer has been brought or paid for and has dropped this case. Now, they're saying that there's some sort of secret deal, and this is what you're probably going to get into when you talk about it in about a sec. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this lawyer's been brought? Do you think that there is a deal? What is your thoughts and opinions, and what do you want to say about it?
Well, what I want to say about it is that, so I don't know if it's the Attorney General or it would be the District Attorney, like the DA, right? So the DA drops the charges. The DA is not that high up in the chain. They're above the cops. The cops have to bring the case to the DA. The DA is the one that can drop the charges, which is what's happened. Now, that was Kim Foxx as the DA. Yeah. But the FBI is above that. The FBI can indict Kim Foxx. And what I would like to see is that happen. Either Internal Affairs investigates this, or the FBI goes after this too. And I hope that they do, because then we can see the DA get thrown into prison for perversion of justice. Smollett can actually go to in front of a judge that's not being paid for, and he can go to jail for what he's done. And I think that would be what we could see now. It would be nice to see not just Smollett go down, but all of these people in the ring, they're being paid for now.
Well, okay, so I was sort of hinting at you talking about something else, but so apparently We Are Change was saying that they had a theory that he has made a deal to take down Michael Avenatti.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So what that one was is, it looks like it's possible that so this is the creepy porn lawyer.
Yes.
It seems that maybe the creepy porn lawyer has gone up to the DA and said, if you drop the charges for Smollett, I'll give you Avenatti. That's a theory that's running around.
Yeah, because the creepy porn lawyer is on the block for extortion, racketeering, and all this sort of, and blackmail and everything like that. I don't know about this. Look, to be honest, the $408,000 going from George Soros to this Kim Foxx like 2-3 years ago, I think she's been brought and paid for. She's a Democratic by political by politician standards. She leans towards the left. I looked up her profile while you were talking. So look, at the end of the day, you know, she might be a far leftist. So she might be a far leftist who doesn't want to convict him because, me agenda.
Yeah. The problem is that if the evidence is there and the DA ignores proper evidence, there's a case to be made for Internal Affairs to go in and just rip this Kim Fox to shreds, or the FBI to do it.
Well, Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it's not like it has. It's not like it's not happened before.
Oh, that's right. Oh my goodness, yeah. This. Oh boy, the system is so swamped out. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, I think this Kim Fox is dirty. This is my opinion on the matter. I think she's been brought and paid for. I think she has the right progressive ideas, and I think that George Soros' founder picked her up, prompted her up, paid for some of her stuff, maybe her publications, maybe got her a little bit of extra money, got her into the right position so that he can then use later to use her to drop the things that are in his best agenda, and this would suit George Soros' agenda. He is, like this is what I think he does. He goes through, he finds budding young politicians who have the right views, pays for them, gets them in the right place, and then calls the check-in, so to speak. But and that's what I think's happened here. I think that this is a combination of the DOJ or whatever it is having the right opinion, and also obviously having previous allegiances to certain powerful figures. I think at the end of the day she's been told to drop it. She's obviously willing to do that because obviously it suits her agenda, and it's also good for her career too with the Democrats. She's the state's attorney general for Cook County. But I think this whole thing smells. This whole thing smells of shit. It's
oh, okay, not a DA. She's an AG. Oh, okay, well, that's actually higher than DA, I believe.
Yeah. So
yeah, okay, but still, the FBI can still get her over the coals if they want.
Oh look, even the mayor's pissed off about this. So I imagine he'll be on the phone today.
And the FBI. I'm sure they're talking today. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some good news, and then we'll get into Article 13 because I'm going to need some good news before that. So, Rand Paul, absolutely, James Clapper, John Brennan, Susan Rice, and others should testify on Spygate role to be subpoenaed if necessary. So, Senator Rand Paul told Breitbart News exclusively on Tuesday that President Donald Trump told senators at the weekly GOP luncheon that he backs his call for an investigation into the origins of the Russian scandal hoax, and that Trump has now been cleared of special counsel Mueller. The president was at lunch today and voiced his support for the investigation of the people who conducted the hoax, Paul told Breitbart News. He didn't use the word hoax, those are my words, but I think we should get to the bottom of this, and he believes that we should get to the bottom of this because this should never happen to another president. He feels that it's damaging our country, damaging the ability to lead the country, and we basically, somebody with an Obama administration within the DOJ and the FBI, basically concocted an investigation, trumped it up to be something that it wasn't, and we've gone through 2 years of the country being stalled because of this fake investigation. I support this. I really do. I think this is good news. And this could actually lead back to Hillary Clinton too.
Absolutely. Which would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Lock her up.
I'm still waiting for her to be locked up. That was an election thing 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
I think he might have tried to bite off more he can chew on that one, but anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get into Article 13. Oh boy. European Parliament has voted in favour of Article 13 and also Article 11, which no one really wants to talk about. Critics argue that Article 13 and the related legislation, Article 11, passed today by MEPs risked infringing on the freedoms of speech. Well, yes, they do, but anyway. European politics have voted to pass Article 11 and Article 13 as a part of sweeping changes to regulation around online copyright. The European Parliament passed the legislation by 348 votes to 274. Opponents had hopes for last-minute amendments to be made to the legislation, but failed to garner enough votes. Julia Ritter, a German MEP representing the Pirate Party, who opposes the copyright directive, said it was a dark day for the internet freedom. Margaret Vrasta, European Commissioner of the Competition, said the result was great news because, you know, that... Anyway, a vote on debating amendments, including an amendment to remove Article 13 and 11 link tax from the broadcast copyright legislation, was rejected by 5 votes. EU member states now have 2 years to pass their own laws that put the copyright directive into effect. So we've got 2 years to save the country and save the world. Yoo-hoo! No pressure. Rapol Axis Voss, a member of the Christian Democratic Union of Germany, said the directive was an important step towards correcting a situation which has allowed a few companies to earn huge sums of money without properly reimbursing the thousands of creators and journalists who work that they depend on. In a statement, YouTube said the final version of the directive was an improvement, but the amendment concurred that Article 13 could have unintended consequences that may harm Europeans' creative and digital economy. So obviously this article here from Wired is mostly talking about the effect when it comes to people like, for example, YouTube and stuff like that. The thing though is what bothers us is not so much this, it's more to do with Article 11, which is more about them putting in the filter, putting in the way of filtering and monitoring the internet, cutting down on stuff like that. Obviously Article 13 will stop memes and stuff like that, but obviously Article 11 is a bigger deal, but the media companies don't want to talk about that because they don't care. They only care because of me money, you know, self-interest and all. Yeah, I do have a video I want to play.
Totes amazed.
Yeah, at this point it's also important to note that YouTube's official response a few months back was they will just leave the EU.
Yeah.
And so
that's what
creators like Simon of a Card will not be able to upload videos.
Well, Brexit's going to happen hopefully anyway, so...
Oh, that's good for him, but yeah, what about the rest of Europe?
Yeah, what about like V and all these sort of guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can get the Croatian in here and he can still tell me about how great the EU is.
I still haven't gotten around to messaging them.
Yeah. We do have a video that has been put by the group that they're very left-leaning, but they do talk about Article 13 and 11 mostly in a factual way. So I'll play a couple of seconds of that for you
Bonjour,
guys.
I'm from the European Union. Do you love the internet? Isn't it a totes amaze? No, look at that doggo. And the kids learning on Wikipedia. What about sharing the memes? You like that, hey? Well, fuck you then. Cause we're about to replace the internet with a brand new experience. The Filternet. To bring you the Filternet, we've introduced Article 13 into the copyright reform legislation about to be voted on in the European Parliament. If passed, we will install a filter to scan all content for possible copyright violations before you can upload it online. Experts warn this could bring down the whole internet as we know it. But hey, if it makes our friends richer, we think that's a fair price to pay. Filternet. Meet our friendly new AI.
And that's the part that bugs me the most, is this filter, the filter they're putting in. That part to me is more concerning than what the major tech companies are talking about. Like I say, look, at the end of the day, their mindset is screw you, give me money. Yeah, that's basically it. The biggest problem that I'm having is, look, obviously companies like YouTube and all these sort of guys, they only care about this because of money. That's all they care about, right? YouTube can't go through and make money selling videos or selling advertisers for other people's content anymore. Which is obviously why they're kicking up a stink about it. They don't really give a shit about filtering the internet. In fact, they're more likely to support it due to the fact that if they filter the internet and they get rid of all this hate speech with quotes, I don't have hands, so it's no opposable hands. But I was going to say, hang on, let me finish. If they go through and if they filter the internet, then they don't have to worry about advertisers boycotting them anymore. So it's actually in YouTube's and Twitter's policy and best interest to actually filter the internet. So they don't care about that. They don't care about the Article 11 part. They just care about the Article 13 because of new money. What were you going to say?
No, I kind of disagree. YouTube, so the disagreement I have is that it's not just about the money with YouTube. The fact is that having a system in place that would scan every single word and picture, they do have, to some degree, already they have filters in place for picking up copyright content to claim, but it is not accurate enough, and it would be nigh impossible for them to make a system accurate enough to fit the requirements for Article 11 and 13.
Yeah, I'm not saying...
The same goes with Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not saying that YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all that are wishing for Article 13 or Article 11. I'm just saying the only reason why you hear about them going on about Article 13 and not Article 11 is because that's what they're more concerned about.
Yeah, but it would be too difficult, too costly to bring a system of filtering to the level required. So I guess it is down to money to some degree, but the fact is that they want their service to be available, and they're not going to be able to have their service available in the EU if they have to have a filter that is so overreaching like this. It would be, I think it would be impossible. I don't think AI could even muster the force required.
Well, you've got to remember too, on Joe Rogan's podcast, that Jack Dorsey also admitted recently that the AI filter actually already follows the EU's policies when it comes to hate speech and stuff like that. So they're already doing parts of it already. So
yes, but that's basic stuff. But
yeah,
when you go down into all of the nitty gritty of what Article 11 requires.
So why don't they talk about Article 11?
What do you mean?
Why doesn't YouTube go on about Article 11? Why is it they only go on about 13?
Well, because the filtering is too much. It's too hard.
But the filtering is 11, not 13.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that the filtering required is too expensive.
So why don't they talk about it?
Oh, well, I would say that maybe they don't talk about it because it's not necessary. If you kill one of them, you kill the other.
No, not necessarily.
I don't know. Article 13 doesn't have much of a leg to stand on without 11, I would say.
No, well, this is the thing. People tried to kill Article 13 and just leave Article 11. And I can guarantee you which companies it were that were doing that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just, I think both of them in general are too detrimental. Either way, they're both too detrimental. It'll change the way the internet works so fundamentally. And you got to remember too that when you talk about Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, these are just the three big ones that can somewhat afford to maybe take on a cost like this. But then you have all the other services too, like Gab, and all the other websites that would not have the infrastructure capable to meet either Article 11 or 13, to be honest.
So, I'm just double checking here. Article... Right, so Article 13 is... You'll be able to upload the video with Lady Gaga track that you made without fear because platforms will be responsible for the use of copyright protected material. So this is Article 13 is all about platforms been liable for what we upload.
Yeah.
Right? That's the one they wanted to kill. They wanted to kill 13.
Yes.
Article 11 is all about the censoring and filtering. Article 11...
Both are untenable.
Sorry?
I would say both is untenable.
Okay,
Article
but
13,
according to this article here, and I quote, as a part of the changes... Hang on, where was it? Opponents hoped for last-minute amendments to be made to the legislation, but failed to garner enough votes. A German MEP for the Representative Party said it was a vote on amendments, including an amendment to remove Article 13 and 11's link tax from the border copyright legislation was rejected. They're not going through, and they're not even talking about the filter. They're only talking about their financial gains, or what they're planning on losing from this link tax and this stuff.
Yeah. The problem is that with 13, the platforms are then liable for the content.
Yes.
However, the other thing with 11, the platforms are liable to build out a filtering system way beyond what they already have that would be so exorbitantly expensive to run, maintain, and upgrade that would also cause almost all the platforms to just go screw this shit.
Okay, hang on, dude, hang on, we're wrong.
No, hang on, and wait, one thing. And then the link tax on top of that is where the platforms are going to be liable for paying the link tax, which is under Article 11. That's a similarity between 13 and 11. The link tax and the content also liable. So the platforms would be screwed by both.
No, it's not. We're wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, hold on, we're wrong.
Well,
so,
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll tell the EU Parliament that they're wrong. Okay, so 13 is actually... So hang on, I got this wrong. I must admit myself too, because I only skimmed through this. Article 13, the directive reconfigure the website's responsibility when it comes to enforcing copyright. Until now, so-called e-commerce directive. So Article 13 is the filter, is the upload filter. It is them being responsible for what people say. It allows people to post text, sounds, code, still or move images with the system. So Article 13 is the filter, is everything that's bad. Article 11 is just the link tax.
So I was going off of what you were just saying earlier, but
yes, that's what I was trying to say. Hang on, stop, because we're wrong.
That's okay. Even if that little detail that you had there was wrong, and so I was saying that, look, at the end of the day, it's not going to change the end result. Article 13 and Article 11 are both completely going to screw the platforms. The link tax is going to screw the platforms on 11, and the content filter is going to screw them on 13, and the liability for copyright is going to screw them on 13. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have 11 or 13 or both. Both screw the platforms.
But
why the platforms were going only after 13? To be honest, I'd say that's short-sightedness. I'm sure that that's probably just a mistake on their part. They should realize that 11 is going to screw them too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, and hi guys who just joined us, what I was going to say was we don't hear them talking about the upload filter. We can sit here. Dude, let me finish. We can sit here and we can say yes, it's impossible to do and everything like that. But we don't hear YouTube coming out and saying that. We don't hear Twitter coming out and saying that. All we hear them going on about is that we won't be able to make money off people's videos that might actually have some copyright infringement because we're going to get our asses sued or we're going to get fines.
Did you say before that YouTube or one of them was lobbying against the link tax earlier? You said they were against the upload filter and the link tax. Isn't that technically going after Article 11?
Yes. That's what I was. That's what I was trying to say when you were going on your
11.
tirade.
Yeah.
I was trying to say to you that Article 11 is the link text. Article 13 is the filter and everything else.
So when they lobbied against the upload filter and the link text, then technically they did lobby both Article 11 and 13.
Yes, but they haven't. But they haven't gone after the actual filter itself. This is what I'm saying, is they don't give a shit about the filter. Even Twitch went through a couple of weeks ago and had a Twitch video presentation on Article 13, right? And not once did that whole video, did they talk about the bad side of filtering the internet.
Mm.
In fact, they were actually filtering my comments because I was being a troll. Well, it was not really trolling, but I was posting contents in the video in their comment section, and they were deleting the video, the comments, literally seconds after it had gone up.
Wow.
Yeah, the irony of me being censored on a video where they're talking about censorship. I know, it's great. But yeah. Mind you, you know, look, I could have been a little bit more diplomatic about it, you know, like me posting in the comments, oh boy, look at this, a large tech company that's censoring the internet, trying to tell us about censorship. What will they think of next? And what else did I write? Oh, look, these far-left progressives who have the right idea, who most likely advocate for censorship in their spare time, are now trying to tell us about censorship of the internet. What's next? All this sort of stuff is obviously what they went through and removed because they didn't like me saying this. But during this whole presentation, it went for about an hour, not once did they talk about the filter. They didn't give two shits about it. They don't care about the filter.
Oh, well, actually, I have a theory of that. The filter is to do with the copyright. Mm-hmm. So, if how to put it? I've got to word it right, so it makes sense. If you get rid of the copyright issue, then you don't have to worry about the filter. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Well, okay, so put it this way, right? If there's no law that's going to change things to do with fair use and copyright content, then you don't need to worry about filtering the content going up on the site.
But no, but this is the thing, right? If you go through and you remove the link tags, if you go through and remove their responsibility for what users post so that they can't be sued, they can still then bring in a filter.
But what would it filter if not? I mean, the filtering is for copyright issues.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're only talking about them being responsible for what users post. That's their concern.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they're not responsible, they won't have to worry about the filter because they're not responsible.
Well, over in America at the moment, they're not responsible for what users post and they still put up the filter?
But they filter, for example, they filter hate speech against the rules, right? Like, for example, dead naming, stuff like that. Like, they don't have to expand the filter to capture a impossible amount of copyright material. So I'm thinking that they don't need to worry about campaigning the filter because if they're not responsible for the content in Article 13, they don't have to worry about the filter in Article 13 because then you don't need the filter. It's defunct. The filter is tied to the copyright changes in of itself.
No, that's not true because at the moment, like I say, over in America, they have filters and they're not responsible for what people upload. And that they are one of the major corporations that went through and lobbied for that change when it went through several years ago. They were one of the people that turned around and said, no, we are a platform, therefore we are publisher, whatever it is, so that we are no longer responsible for what people say. And that law was specifically put in place so that people like YouTube, Twitter and whatnot don't actually get sued. That is what they want. They want people to be able to upload as much content they want, as long as it's not hate speech and whatnot, and they can then go through, get users to come to the platform where they can go through and they can make ad revenue. But the thing is that where you get people like me and you, for example, where we're not quite advertiser friendly, well, at the end of the day, people, for example, the EU will be obviously silencing people like me, for example. And this is something that Australia is even trying to, just recently with this New Zealand shooting, have turned around and said, we need something like the EU laws to come in so that we can actually censor the internet. Well, that's what I think. I think these large corporations, for example, they want these filters because A, it helps with the ad revenue. They won't have any more ad apocalypses. They're already working on the filter itself, so it's not going to take them any much extra to go through, and obviously just have to fine tune it. And all they're worried about is the fact that A, they're going to have to pay the link tax, and B, that they're going to be held responsible for anybody that goes uploading anything that might be considered against the hate speech. Because them being held responsible, it's not just copyright material that they're responsible for. It's hate speech and everything. If I upload a video to YouTube and I go on about, F the certain minorities, then YouTube is actually held responsible for that as well. And that's what I think is their major concern, is not filtering the internet. I think they're more concerned about going through and silencing and just not paying money over hand over fist because of fines or because of link tax.
I don't know, call me naive for saying this, but I would say that the filter is untenable to run at the level that Article 13 requires. I honestly don't believe that even Alphabet Incorporated and Google could afford that.
But here's the thing.
I'd say that operating a filter of that scale would cost so much, they may as well just leave the EU. Like, don't operate in that country. It's just too much.
Trip says, so you got my DMs today, I'm guessing. No, I haven't got your DMs, man. Guys, DMing me on Discord at the moment is really, really kind of impossible because I have 15 to 20 Discord opens and I miss the DMs that pop up at the top. I'm going to end up fixing it and putting half of the Star Citizen stuff onto a different Discord, but I need to buy another microphone and headset and everything for that. But what I was going to say was, at the end of the day, I'll check them in a sec, man. Well, what I was going to say was, at the end of the day, right, so let's use an example. Say I upload a video that is a meme, right, for example. At the moment, with the rules that the Article 13, Article 11, YouTube will have to pay a link tax. I would have to pay a link tax. And also, YouTube would then be held responsible for any copyright material as well as me. But at the end of the day, if they got rid of that link tax, if they got rid of them being responsible for what I upload to the internet, then at the end of the day, they don't really care if I'm held responsible, do they? They're only going to worry about themselves, right?
Right, but in the world where the filter was still there, so you're thinking that the filter is not what they care about. The problem I have with that theory is that it's not just going to be the liability issues, but how is any one company going to be able to run a system that is able to pick up and flag every single possible iteration of a picture or a moving picture, like video? They already have abilities to flag certain bits of audio based on an already submitted sample. Okay. But what Article 13 requires is that they expand that not only to include snippets, but entire works of art, and picking up what you say, and also going through the actual video itself, because at the moment YouTube doesn't scan the video portion, not very much. They do a little bit for audio visual when they can pick up an entire movie, for instance, but then you can put a filter over that in your video editing software, flip it vertical, whatever, put a thing over it, halo. They expect them to go through that level of scrutiny. There's just no processing ability to do that.
But here's the thing. If they're not responsible for what users upload to the platform, then who gives a shit if they miss them? Right. But they'll still be expected to implement the filter anyway. And they say, oops, sorry, we tried, we missed one. Who cares? Right? They're not. If they're not responsible for what users upload to the video, they can then just turn around and say, go after this guy. He was the guy that uploaded. We're just a publisher. We don't need to worry about this sort of stuff. But at the moment, they are held responsible.
But the thing is, aren't we already held responsible anyway? Because if I upload an entire movie to YouTube, say I upload right now Captain Marvel, it is already possible for the movie studio to come and sue me.
Yes, because of the US laws, for example, where Google is based.
Yeah.
Over in the US, they are not held responsible. You are held responsible for what you upload. But with Article 13 and Article 11, they are actually held responsible now.
Okay, so I don't think anything changes. But
it does, because they're now held responsible for it. I just said that.
Yeah, I know, but if they were campaigning against the filter, sorry, not the filter, they campaigned against the responsibility under 13 and the link tax under 11.
Yes.
But they don't need to worry about the filter because the filter's never going to be implemented. So that's why they don't need to campaign for the filter. They just need to get rid of 13 and 11.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to you is, right, with 13, for example, if they're not held responsible and they try and bring in this filter, right, which is obviously going to benefit them in some way because of Apocalypse 3.0, whatever it may be that comes in the future, then they can just turn around and say, whoopsie, we missed one, we're sorry, no harm, no foul, go after the guy that uploaded it. But at the moment now, they are held responsible. So, at the moment, they're responsible. They get like a $250,000, whatever it is, fine for every case of someone that uploads that breaks this copyright thing. And that is money that they will not even have to worry about being responsible for under the US law. But now with the EU, they are now held responsible.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
The link tax, and the copyright changes is the two massive issues that needs to go away.
Yeah.
We have to, and that's what they were campaigning against. And to be honest, I fully support that. Going after that part of 13 and 11, I think is all that needs to be taken down, and it has to go. I mean,
no, because the filter's still there.
No, the filter's it's not going to change anything. It's like. What they're asking for with that filter is impossible. Like,
dude, it's like
asking with...
Dude, we already have a filter that's changing shit already. How do you sit there and say that it doesn't affect...
That's a censorship issue.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, is the filter's bad. The filter's a bad idea too.
Oh, yeah.
Get rid of all of them.
We've been fighting censorship for years, and it's not... And we still have a long road to go.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the EU has to bring in a filter as well. Why don't we get rid of all three of them?
The thing about the EU filter, it's like asking an ant to grow wings and fly. That filter that they want, it's impossible.
But dude, even if they try and bring it in, they're still going to end up catching some people. It's still going to make... They're still going to make changes to the algorithm. They're still going to catch some people in the net. It's still filtering the internet. As a general whole, that's shit. Yeah. And one of the things they were talking about is in memes, they would be able to identify, say, the frog, the green frog. Yeah. And then they would put that as a filter, part of the filter, basically. Yeah. And see, that's possible. They can do things. They can expand the filter in certain ways to kill memes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, getting rid of... They have to get rid of the rest of it. To be honest with you, like, the bottom line is the whole thing has to go. All of 13 and all of 11 has to stop. Now we're on the same page. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm not saying... I'm saying, don't get rid of the filter. You keep thinking the filter's not a real big thing. No, the filter's just as bad as everything else. Okay. We'll disagree on that a point.
Oh, no, I agree with you that the whole thing is bad and has to go, right? I agree with that. I'm kind of just throwing in the nuance that the filter by itself is useless without the rest of it there.
Tell that to YouTube right now. Tell people like me who get censored off the internet, who will go from 1,000 views on his videos when he has 10 subs down to 100 views when he has 2,000 subs. Tell people like me that the filter is significant right now, because I tell you now, I've got case after case. But that's what I'm saying. You said it was insignificant. No, it's not fucking insignificant, because people like me have had to bash our heads against the brick wall to try and beat through it.
that's the point I was trying to make. That the new filter won't change anything because we've already been under a filter for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I was trying to say is the new filter isn't going to make a difference to the way things are now because we've already been under a filter for years, and the extra things that the EU wants to put onto this filter is impossible to implement because there's no such thing as enough money to go around to pay for the expansion of the filter that they want.
But
so
they're still going to try.
All they get is the filter. Dude, they can try until the cows come home. There's no filter that can keep up with what they want. There's not enough computer power in the world for that.
No, not to keep up with it all, but they're still going to try and do it. And at the end of the day, that's the problem. The problem is they're still going to try and do it, and there's still going to be people that are caught in this filter. This new filter. Your argument is we have a filter now that's level 1, so don't worry when they try and bring in the level 10 filter because it's not going to get there. Mind you, that filter level 1 might actually get to level 5, but don't worry because at least it's not still level 10. That's completely insane to say.
What I say to that is that the companies aren't going to be willing to pay to expand it from level 1 to level 5.
They're already doing it
in Australia. Well, here in Australia, they brought in the metadata laws, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the ISPs were unwilling to pay for it. They ended up lobbying and forcing the government to give grants to the ISPs to build out the infrastructure to keep up with the metadata laws. You think that the EU is going to pay the billions of dollars to Facebook and YouTube and that to bring their filters up to level 5?
If they have to, yeah, I do.
Well, if they do, okay, then maybe I'll start to agree with you more. But I didn't see that in the thing they passed today.
Well, you've literally just made an argument for it to happen. You've literally just talked about the metadata laws. What happened there? The government ended up paying for it, and the ISPs brought that law in.
Yeah. Well, if the EU is going to pay for it, but then again, here's the thing. I still maintain the additional argument there's not enough computer horsepower on this planet to bring a filter up to what the EU want. It can't happen.
No, we agree on that, dude. We agree on that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if they can't hit level 10 on the filter, and they can hit level 5, and we're at level 2 at the moment, that's still pretty fucked. I would like a level 0 filter. I don't want it to go in the opposite direction. I want it to go down. I don't want the internet to be filtered at all.
No, fair enough. And fair enough. It's just that I don't think that YouTube would be willing to pay for it. I think they'd rather leave the country. I mean, if the EU turn around and go, okay, fine, we're going to give you grants, okay, then I'll be much more on board. Thinking that they can bring it up to like a level 4 or 5.
Jack Dorsey has already admitted that they're going through and changing their filters to match the EU. We've seen, how many times now? I tried to upload a video to YouTube a couple of days ago, and the whole YouTube site went down. This was literally 2 days ago, right before the government brought through this new EU law. You're going to tell me that YouTube back then, that 2 days ago, wasn't trying to incorporate something that probably crashed their site for a few hours?
Facebook also had a... Facebook also made a huge change and it caused a cascade failure through all their data centers and they were down for 6 hours. I heard that.
So what exactly are they trying to incorporate then? If your argument is don't worry about it because they're not going to go bringing in this new filter because it's impossible to do. But on the other hand, oh wait, hang on, holy shit, we're having Facebook down for hours. YouTube goes down and up and down like naughty girls' knickers. You know, what would they be incorporating if you don't think it's anything to do with the filter?
Man, if they were... This is the thing, right? I mean, you understand... You're on my level right now where you understand what kind of filtering I'm kind of thinking that they need, right? Yeah, I mean, for a level of filtering at that level, at that height, at that amount of horsepower behind it, you don't think that they would need to have entire data center locations, hundreds of them, that are literally dedicated just to filtering?
But dude, you're missing the point. Even if they
who's going to pay for that?
But dude, even if they can't get to that, even if they can't get to filtering the whole internet, and even if they manage to filter 30% more of the internet, that's still another 30% of the internet that's been filtered. That's still fucked.
Oh, dude, I know.
Yeah.
I understand that. I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
That they can get it maybe to a level 3 or level 4.
But that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it matters.
It's just that who in their right mind at like running Facebook right now or YouTube right now would be like, okay, let's go spend billions building more data centers. Like YouTube right now or Google is right now trying to deploy Stadia. Like are they going to turn around and go, oh, we have to spend another $50 billion on more data centers just for filtering? I mean, dude, if I was running Google right now, I don't care how lefty I am, I'd be like, screw this. I'm just going to shut down. No uploading from that country. And I think YouTube threatened that.
But at the end of the day, you also got to remember too, is that the left at the moment, they're not thinking like normal, rational people.
No, they don't care about the money. They'd rather go broke.
Go broke. And at the end of the day, if they can go through and censor the internet and stop President Trump-like person ever running and winning again, they would spend that money if they have to.
So you're thinking that they would be willing to risk bankruptcy in the short term just to make it filter that hard?
Oh, I reckon they'll try and hit the EU up to build these data centers. I don't think Google's going to be building them. I reckon the EU will be running them. What I reckon is happening is that the internet will all run into a data center, like what we're talking about, and the EU will control that, and then Facebook, Twitter, and all these other people will end up going through and connecting to that data center. I don't think
that's how they run it in. That's how they run it in North Korea. The entire internet goes to one building and then runs through there. And I think the Great Firewall of China runs like that.
Yeah.
But here in Australia, we have multiple ins and outs and pipes because we don't have that kind of filtering.
Yeah, but, we're not affected by the EU at the moment.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. But if they wanted to implement it in Europe, they've got even more pipes. They would literally have to dig trenches and lay new fiber cable to run the internet through one country for a massive filter. Jeez, that's a lot of work.
Well, yeah, it's the EU, dude. Do you really think they're not going to do it?
Well, dude, it just blows my mind to think that you really think that they would go to that length. And look, maybe you're right. Fucking hell, man. If you're right on this, then the EU is willing to go to a length that I never thought possible.
This sounds like a conversation him and I had a few years ago, where he thought the exact same thing back then, and it ended up being, he had admitted that I was right. So I don't know, but my track record on this sort of stuff, dude, tends to be pretty good, and I reckon you'll find that they're going to try and incorporate it. Yeah,
it's wow, like man, the way the internet is set up at the moment in America, Canada, the free countries, they don't worry about centralizing the internet. They build out the internet like a giant web. That's the concept of the web, right?
Yeah.
To centralize it through one massive data center, and that's the thing. I don't even think it could do it in one data center, but if they did, holy crap, man! The amount of GPUs they'd need to run the AI network to filter what they want. Oh boy! And green. Oh, and by the way, this is funny. You know how Ocasio-Cortez talks about the Green New Deal?
Yeah.
Well, it's about part of it is about saving the environment, right? Reducing carbon emissions.
Mm-hmm.
To run a data center, to do the filtering, well, data centers are envisioned to be hitting almost 20% worldwide in total world carbon emissions. The EU would have to admit to build the filtering that they want in Article 13 is going to require data centers to put out so much more extra carbon. They'd have to admit that their filter is bad for the environment. Just saying.
Okay, so I brought up a photo here on the screen. Now there's two photos I can find that are showing the internet connectivity in and out of Europe. and there are major hubs.
Yeah, they'd have to build ones across the major hubs, or one big one, and reroute a lot of the traffic. But how many hubs are there? Because I can't see it at the moment.
Yeah, sure. In Europe, there is what looks like one in Germany. Oh boy, that's inconvenient, isn't it? So it's looking like there is a major hub that comes out of Berlin. So it looks like there's several lines that go from Brussels, really, Brussels to the United States.
Wait a minute. That's interesting. Do you think this is a long game? Because that's Brussels, the big one in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So did they play a long game and change? Because last time, if it was admittedly many years ago. Oh wait, they're missing hubs here. Like Australia has more than one hub. It's got 3.
Yeah, I've got another sheet. I've got another thing at some point. Actually, Australia has 4. Actually,
I think this one might be incomplete.
Let me put this up. This is the sea cables.
Yeah, let's bring up the sea cables.
Yeah, this is a more complex image, but yeah, I was using the other one because it's a lot simpler for other people to follow. But you can see Australia has 2 coming out on Western Australia, and 2 or 3 coming out in Sydney. So Australia has about 5 cables.
Oh, 5 now. Oof, yeah, nice. I like it.
But the bulk coming out of what looks like it's Brussels. Looks like it's Brussels area. There are a couple coming out of Lisbon and sort of area. But dude, lot of those.
When did they do this?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so they've. Okay, this is not what I remember seeing when I was looking at this stuff back at TAFE. It was more diversified than this.
Like, even if, alright, say you go through and you cut all those underground, if you put a filter on all those cables going to New York, right?
Yeah.
And you also put the same filter in the same location that's going up towards North Europe, for example, right? The orange cables that you can probably see on the screen. You are basically going to wipe out everything that is in Europe, except for the one that comes out of Miami and heads over to Gidesbar, and that's basically it. There's only really 1 or 2 cables coming out because the rest of them. No, but the ones down near South America, they're also coming out of Miami as well. They go from Miami down to South America, then from South America connects over to Europe as well.
It used to be more diversified. It wasn't all just out of Brussels like this. There was more connectivity running to the other side for India, China, and then Australia. But they've gone and changed things. Because I did network studies and stuff.
Yeah, same.
And one of the things was I looked at the undersea cables in Australia's setup, and there was way more connectivity all around. But over the years, they've been collecting all of the connections out of Brussels. That can't be a coincidence.
So
they've
like
been
you can
thinking of this for 10 years.
This on the screen is another picture that shows like underground cables and stuff as well. You can sort of see Australia has about 3 or 4 cables coming out of it, which is standard to what it was above. But you can see the bulk of those cables is coming out of 1 or 2 spots in Europe.
It is. It was more diversified in the past. They've been. And this might explain why over the years, right? Have you noticed that accessing Europe over the last few years has been getting worse and worse?
Yeah, pings and stuff.
Like the ping, right? The ping has been getting worse for Australia, right? So between Australia and Europe. This explains a lot because they've gone and removed a lot of the linkage from Australia to through Africa and Asian countries into Europe, and now we have to go through all across around the planet and then go through America to get to Europe.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like, for example, Sydney would obviously go to New York, and then New York would then obviously go to Europe. On the west coast would go through to Singapore up through to Africa, and then into Europe.
Yeah, but what I'm actually noticing is that they seem to be using that other link through Asia less and less and less, and really centering it all around Brussels to New York. That's not an accident. They've been planning Article 13 and 11 probably for a decade.
Probably, yeah. They don't do anything just on a whim. It's always a long game.
Yeah.
So
this is the thing about the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing. They've been encouraging the ISPs to do this, and then bam, hit them with the filter.
Well, the ISPs don't put in the cabling. The countries put in the cabling.
Oh yeah, they do it through contracts, right? The government puts out a contract, and then big companies come in and they bid for it. Yeah.
So you still think that this filtering mightn't be a big thing, or you want to change your policy on that?
Well, the concern is that the copyright directive and the filtered link tax.
Yeah.
As for the filtering, seeing this more updated map, seeing that they're really centering it out of Brussels, I don't think that's a coincidence. It wasn't like this. They had more links going in every direction. Now they're just all in Brussels. This is not good, man.
I don't know. Look, at the end of the day, I just want my free internet, and free. I mean, not censored. Not. Yeah.
Yeah. The one at the top, the map at the top?
Yeah, I was in that again.
If you actually take a look at this, right, I don't know if you noticed. So you go Australia and all the other countries, right, they go through Asia, China, Japan, etc. Then it goes down into Africa. Notice the link where the circle is. It goes to the left, and then it goes all around the country into Brussels, instead of going the more direct route straight into the countries there. It goes all the way around.
Yeah, I noticed.
That wasn't like that in the past. Jesus Christ. They've gone and rerouted everything through Brussels, man. Wow. The long con, mate. The long con.
Anyway, let's go through these comments, because this is starting to get very, very depressing. Alright. Alright. Hey all. Greetings from South Mississippi. Hello, Leah. How are you, hun? Trip says, hey guys, sorry I missed the discussion. That's alright, it'll be uploaded anyway. You guys can check in for the earlier subjects, but you didn't miss much about the EU, really. So you're pretty much on time for that one. Did you get my DM today? Yeah, I just got it. I just checked it then. You said, hey, is Australia Commonwealth? Are you affected by the laws of the EU passing 13 and 11? No, not at the moment, but with everything that happened with this mass shooting over in New Zealand, they did make references to bringing in the EU laws. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We have an election coming up soon, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, check this out too. So if you have a look, every single country on the map has a web out from them. One way or another, they have multiple links in and out through their country in multiple directions. Europe, check this out. Even the one that runs to the top above Brussels, even that one is going into Brussels. Yeah. As well. I can. My God, man. They've centered it. They've centered the internet into Brussels completely.
I'm wondering if the black line. I wonder if that black line is in and all the reds are out.
No. I don't know that.
No, actually, here's the thing up here. But hang on, what's it say up here? So, in service, black is damaged. So the black line is damaged, right? Much longer damaged.
How convenient. How convenient.
But all the red ones are in service, and the yellow ones are planned. So the ones going up to Greenland and all that are planned, but they're going to be planned to run out of Brussels.
Yeah, they're still planning it. No one builds the internet like this, dude. Like every other country you can see, this is what I remember when I did TAFE, man. The way that every country was building out their lines was in multiple, like a star network. It's how you do things properly. And the EU has been centering every connection over time. Bam, out of just the one link. Don't do that. That's how you kill internet. Because if one link goes down or one area goes down, the whole country goes down, and that's not how you build the internet.
Anyway, that's the rub. Only big companies will have software to search everything, or they will just say it's not worth it and pull their service from the EU. Trip, why would they sue over Captain Marvel? It's a terrible movie. Haven't seen it, man. I was just like, no, I'm not going to see it. Trip says they have 2 years to make the filter. Turn the filter up to 11, smart old zap. Good band, actually. Trip, I guess we have to make our own internet. I have some cans and a string. You'd probably rival some of the Australian internet connections that we may have. Trip, the EU wants its own army. Macron and Macron. Here's a good one to look up for laughs. Georgia legislature wants the law that requires men to report the authorities when they release sperm. Holy shit. Okay. Is he GOP or Democrat, do you know? Greenland should host the data centers. No one should host the data centers, but anyway. Raymond, hi everybody. Hello, Raymond. EU is like a bad case of heartburn. I can't get it to go away. We're trying. We really are trying, bro. Guys, if you want the EU to go away, share this video, because this is the most red-pilling video you'll probably see in a while. McGruff says New Zealand will be the first to censor even right are fully cut. Yes, they are. Back in the day, USSR had some freedoms. Now we're facing no freedoms at all. Yeah, actually, living under the USSR probably was an improvement than some places over in the EU at the moment. Very true, McGruff. I thought there were more fight in us. Dude, share the videos, guys, is all I gotta say. If you want to fight, if you want to save anything, if you want to save civilization, just spread the videos. Because I'm surprised by the lack of people that have not talked about this today. We Are Change has talked about it. I haven't seen any video from Sargon go up about it. I'm just checking now. Like,
I'm actually seeing. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say maybe they'll upload some videos over the next day or two, but like, how much planning do you need to do a video like this? Like, we've managed to do this in half an hour planning. So,
yeah, and there's not a lot of planning. Although, I just looked up an article that abc.net.au made back in 2008 about the cost of filtering, and actually, I completely sidestepped the other fact of the speed of it. Apparently, the ACMA, and when I click on this citation, it goes to 404 not found. So it's probably quite old anyway. It mentions that internet performance products showed an up to 75% slowdown of the internet when being used.
Yeah, but they don't care about that.
No, I know, but just mentioning it.
Yeah. Like, do you really think Google and all that care if we can't upload our videos fast enough? They don't. They don't.
Not.
No, they don't give two shits. Yeah.
But then again, they need us to be able to upload to make money. So that's, well, I don't know. It's a double-edged sword.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. It takes me hours to upload a video. Like that video I posted on Gamers Caf. Shameless plug. #. Also check out Bonus Doe. #. But I was going to say. But yeah, the video I uploaded regarding ArtCorp and walking around Star Citizen's new ArtCorp. That took 4 or 6 hours to upload. You know, at the end of the day, you can still upload even if it is slow. Everybody would just revert back to speeds like ADSL.
Yeah.
So, Globalists have set up the internet in Europe. They want the ability to turn it off. True. Check out the photograph that's on the screen. You can see it's mostly coming out of one area. Computer Forever talked about it. Yes, he did. Full credit to him for doing this too. He's really on the ball about this stuff. Trip, I posted in general. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Trip, how do they know if you have a VPN? There is ways of telling. For example, if you start getting no logs about what you're accessing, they can sort of suspect you might be running off a VPN. You're better the person to talk to about this VPN stuff. Is there any other ways?
Yeah, they will move to block VPNs, I believe.
Yeah. They've got 2 years yet, so there's still time for them to bring in laws and stuff like this. Raymond says, we need true heroes to take back our countries. It's like a bad comedy movie, so bad even the critics are speechless. Yeah. Dude, you should have seen my reaction when I heard about this going through. I was pissed. I really, really was. I knew it was going to go through. I knew they were going to accept it because big tech companies have been pushing for it. Oh, not pushing for it, but big media companies are pushing for it. Record companies are pushing for it. I knew it was going to go through, but it's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, I don't know. Anything you want to say before we jump back into Factorial and take our mind off this shit?
Empyrean.
Empyrean.
Yeah, man. I was just going to find a photo of like what the links looked like back when I was looking at this, just for like citation, when I just sort of about what I was saying, and I have found some, and there is they were linking more along the bottom, so I've got one. I've got one about it here from Extreme Tech. It doesn't have a date, but it does look a little more like what I remember it. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, post it in live show. Yeah, post it in live show.
Yeah. Yeah, this is from 2011. Yeah. Here we go. I found one for 2011. It does have a bit more of that. Yeah. So, here it is in the Discord for you. Live show text. There we go.
Yep, got it. It's a video.
No. Hang on.
That's a video.
That's the. My phone didn't. Jesus Christ, phone! Really? Sorry.
That's all.
It for some reason didn't actually grab it. I've saved it and I posted myself. Here you go. Yeah, show them this. This is what it used to look like. More diversified.
But even looking at this, there looks like there's still major ones coming out of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see that they've been slowly removing a lot of those links along the bottom of Europe and just running them around and back into Brussels. Yeah. You can see the difference, right?
Yeah. Even Australia. We've lost some of the pipelines, have we?
It looks like it. Possibly, yeah.
We used to have lines going into PNG. We don't anymore.
Those got brokered a couple of times. I think they've given up fixing them, yeah.
Yeah. So those ones are missing.
Historically, Europe had a lot more diversity on their links.
Guys, yeah, I don't want to be blackpilling or anything like that. All I can suggest is moving to America, maybe. We can all go. We can all go and visit Trip and move in with Trip. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
They were running one out of Finland. They ran links out of Turkey, Italy, Spain. They had links all along there. And the new map that you were showing, all of that was missing. They just have one black line, which is even broken then. So, yay. Yeah. I reckon it's a long game. They've been planning this for a long time then.
Anyway, alright guys, this might be where we leave it, because we keep talking about this. I'm going to go and play in traffic. So, obviously guys, the video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. I'm going to try and find some positive news for tomorrow. Alright, I want it to be a a positive show. Because my little heart can't take much more of this shit. But yeah, we do need heroes. We need heroes more than ever. And we need people to stand up to this. Because this is a lot of crap. It really, really is. But yeah, guys, obviously the video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, obviously we will see you tomorrow when we try and talk about some positive news. We are going to jump back on to Imperium, so if you want to jump into that and chill, then obviously you can. But I don't really want to talk about the EU or the Article 11 or 13 or anything, because it's fucking depressing. It really is. Apart from that, thank you everybody who joined. Thank you everybody who's been here the whole time. Thank you my co-host for joining in, and his co-host, his wife, who joined in as well.
Yeah, she doesn't look too happy either.
No. How does she feel about moving to America?
I've brought it up in the past, but I think it's something to do when you know,
situation hits the fan.
Kids are moving. The kids, when the kids move out of the house, or if the shit hits the fan, yeah.
So that's the thing. I've got parents that are elderly, for example, and if I go flying off to America and I'm going to leave my parents here, and not the good time to start doing that shit when they start getting elderly too. So, but anyway. That's true. Anyway, alright, jump back in Imperium before I go and start playing in traffic. Thank you everybody, have a great night, enjoy everybody, and we will see you tomorrow. Bon voyage, because we're all going to have to start learning to speak European French or something. Have a great night, and enjoy.